class, assess people, and camp discovery. If not you, who? If not now, when? Let's start off with the panel discussion members. Thank you.
Very good evening to all of you. At the outset, my heartfelt thanks for taking time out to be here with us today. It's a very special day for us at School Youths, having started our journey with the press in Mumbai yesterday. We are very happy to see so many people from the media out here, and I once again thank all of you for having taken the time out for this function. We start this function today with a panel discussion. And the topic for the panel discussion is basically why after-school activities are equally, if not more important than academics, towards developing the personality of every student. So this is the theme of the panel discussion, and I'm very happy to have an elite team of panelists along with me. So to introduce them, we just will put up a slide for each one of them. Yeah, we have Teresa, who is the headmistress of Shishya school. We have Chithra, Ravi, who is the founder of Chrysalis. And we have Lakshmi, who is a management coach from Chennai. So let's begin the panel discussion with,
So I'm very happy to be here because this particular thing is so close to my heart. The work of Chrysalis, and when I founded Chrysalis about 18 years ago, with the byline, let the child blossom. And today we say the vision of Chrysalis is awakening human potential in every child. It amounts to what probably Kannan mentioned as personality of an individual. And when we look at personality, and when we look at this personality finding its balance in the world, there is so much of not just the cognitive learning that most schools focus on today, but a lot about social, emotional, and physical aspects that the child needs to, not to just face the world. I don't believe in this thing of, you need to face the world. Actually, we need to create a world. And this world needs to be not just, I see some vision statements of schools, and I'm sure many of us have seen that, helping our child to face the society. In my mind, the society is created by a generation. And to that, creating independent thinking and socially responsible as well as self-directed learners is very, very critical. I have a slight dichotomy here, which with the permission of Kannan, I will say, what I believe that Kannan and School Dude is professing as an after-school activity, in my mind, should actually even be integrated in a school. But unfortunately, thanks to so many restrictions and constraints, we need to resort to an after-school scenario which promotes this. But this is a big step, I would say, and something that we need to really bat for. That would be my beginning statement. Yeah.
Okay, first I think I disagree with, is it more important than school? Okay. Being from a school, I disagree with that. I think they all work hand in hand. School, home, and I'm sure any activity that is done outside. I come from a time when our parents didn't organize our after-school activities. So we could play in the neighbor's house or they came home. I'm sure boys could play down the road or in someone else's compound. It was much safer and better times. If only we could get an app like this those days, it would be like, it's like wishful thinking. And whatever I've understood of the app, I think much can be done for the children, a lot. They'll be spending their time wisely, they'll be usefully, and while enjoying themselves. The other thing is, we have nuclear families, we have families with one child, two children max. If you hear of three, it's a large family. Again, I come from a time when 4 children was the normal, as a small family. 4 children used to be a small family. So then, maybe that's another reason why parents didn't have to, the elders didn't have to work out what we did after school. Okay, but today we need this. And we're very lucky if we can get a platform where they're safe while also learning a lot. And learning things in a happy and in a fun way.
At the outset, thanks, Kannan, for having me here, part of this lovely panel, which has already started off with different perspectives. So let me share what I feel as I'm listening to this. Are they, as equal, less equal, more equal? I just think they both make the whole. And as much as I, wanted to come here and really profess the importance of after school or extracurricular activities as we commonly know it, I'm actually thinking that academics is equally important. Not the way we know it and not the way we've sort of experienced it as grades, but pure academics is so important to, I think, building of core competence in an individual. Can't sort of be underplayed. Now let's come to the second part of it. I think I talk from personal experience. Growing up, I was fortunate to have experiences, largely, I think, given by my parents, who I think didn't realize they were doing it, but in an environment of absolute freedom. So, got the opportunity to taste very many activities. Just going to take a pause here. Hi. Yeah, so got very fortunate to taste very many activities, whether it was, sports or jamming or debate or needlework, name it, and I sort of had my hand in the pie. At one point of time, I was actually thinking, am I sort of going to become a jack of all trades? Do you know what? It's okay to be like that. It's important that you get that exposure and opportunity. So I think I consider myself a living example for being the advocate of that. And also, apart from being a coach who works with largely adults, I also enjoy working with young adults, children. And I have 2 myself. I have 2 teenagers myself. And my sons actually agreed to join me here today to hear what I have to say, not as a parent. I think it's absolutely important to give that opportunity to children to just do multiple things and not sort of think of where is it adding up. So yes, opening remarks is that absolutely equally important to the way we look at academics. So when you hang out, you're not doing anything in particular. Yeah, but still important. So what is happening there? If you just look at the dynamic, I think it's like when we used to have in like ma'am was also saying earlier days, right? Or if you just look at communities, a space for social interaction, right? Chit chat, just sort of be. Today, I think teens don't have that space. Yeah, highly sort of regimented lives, and honestly, I think I'm happy I grew up in the 80s and 90s than today. Growing up is a lot harder. I think growing up is too fast, the pace is too hectic, and the world's moving too quickly. It's hard to cope. Too many conflicting pressures. Yeah, you got to live up to an image with your peers. You got to live up to an image in school, at home. It's difficult. So I think spaces like this, when we look at extracurricular, spaces that can encourage that, I think can achieve a very important purpose. One of facilitating conversations, right? Liberal, unmoderated conversation that this generation probably is not able to have in school. I think most schools it's not easy to speak your mind the way you want to. And I think at homes also. I mean, I think every home is not the same, right? Surely and purely because of the kind of huge generational gap. So if you just look at this, so I'm learning all these things, right? As I told you, mom of 2 teens. Facebook is passing, right? Instagram is in. And what's the core difference? You don't speak very much on Instagram. Your pictures speak 1,000 words, yeah? You don't describe stuff. You don't describe emotion. The picture speaks its emotion. So it's a very different way of communication.
Plus your parents are not there.
Absolutely. You try to follow them and sometimes maybe another account gets created.
No.
No, so I think the conversations are happening. The way of doing it is very different, right? However, and again, when I work with leaders as a coach, I understand the importance that in the real world, you still need to have conversations with emotion. You still need to speak. You can't answer in monosyllables. So can we create a way wherein we, build on these kind of conversations, bring them into conversations of the real world? It will be wonderful if a space can achieve that. Because conversation is not dead. Emotional intelligence is not dead, right? That's the way teams work, that's the way society moves. So I think that's one bit that I wanted to speak about. The second bit is when you talk extracurricular activities, going back to the topic of the discussion, I think apart from very specific activities, skill building activities like dance or theater or whatever, many are there, which I think parents are doing a lot, rushing them from class A to class B to class C. I think what the generation is losing out, largely because there are no unstructured time, no unstructured summer holidays, right, is essential life skills. Can the space encourage people to do that? Today, reading a book is a life skill, right? That's sort of losing. I mean, it's getting lost. Cooking a meal, which I think is very important, is absolutely not done. So, can changing the tire of a car, right? Who's talking about these skills? Schools are not. Extracurricular programs are not. So can this gap be addressed, focusing on these kind of extra skills which are so important to life? Because today, an average teenager leaves home at 18. And then you've got to face the world. So I think these are 2 things that I just wanted to leave with the audience here.
Sure, I think when you talk about...
And then became K, now I don't know what the K will get substituted with.
Over to you, Sanjay.
Well, I think the eminent panelists have made some compelling points coming from very different, but similar perspectives of being parents, of being academicians, CEOs, coaches. A wide panorama has been already sort of discussed. I too, like others here, am a parent of a teenager myself. And I actually see a lot of wisdom. I see tremendous wisdom that I learned from. So to me, what also got my attention about this particular endeavor is that it said this is an opportunity also for parents to learn, grow and contribute, and it's a space for them as well. So I'm particularly excited about that because if I may quote what Jaggi Vasudev put it, and he puts it much nicer than I could quote it at this point. Somebody asked him, what do we need to teach our children? He said, what can we teach our children? We'll only teach them our mistakes. Maybe having children is an opportunity for us to relearn and learn some new things from our children. I can certainly speak to how to be a parent. But somehow that manual missed me when I was growing up and certainly missed me when I got married, certainly missed me when I had children. So if anybody has a copy of that manual, please do pass it on to me here. And I'm hoping that school dudes can also create that opportunity. And the last point I'd just like to say this with respect to a space of this kind, yes, there is a paucity of nature, absolutely access to nature. There's a paucity of open time, free time that we used to have particularly. But to a great extent, that's what our grandparents and parents said that about us as well. And each generation will find their own space, I believe. As long as we can create a space where there is reduced fear, more openness, where we can balance the 3 C's: curiosity, compassion, and courage. And if we can encourage and create that space, then wonderful.
All of them are part of the school university, so I feel emboldened by their presence. So I have a heavy team, high-profile team of people to offer the best of services. We are blessed with a lot of resources from across the world. We will be showcasing what this app has to offer and what is it that students and parents can expect out of that. I now request Evangeline to welcome the chief guest, Mr. P. Santana, who is the managing director of Semgova and Glass, who will be releasing the app.
It's an interesting day, and Kannan, all the best. And firstly, I was just wondering why everyone was focusing only on the app, because I thought between 3 things, right? Talking about understanding the career aspirations and providing some kind of a career guidance in the career wise. You're also combining the nature part of it, right? So we seem to be kind of focused only on the digital part of it. I was just wondering why. Is there any specific reason? No, is there? I mean, I thought that when I was reading through all the write-ups about what he's trying to do, he's trying to do a lot of physical activity which helps us to connect with nature, and he's trying to talk about providing a lot of knowledge inputs through the app, and getting the parents also to understand, and plus also trying to guide them into what kind of paths that they will go through. So I thought that doing all the 3, I hope it's not just this app, right? The app is only a digital medium that facilitates. So therefore, I'm quite excited by this. But I just want to tell you something. Long back, I read a book on nuclear disarmament. So nothing to do with this. The last chapter on the book is called Hope. Okay? We're talking about nuclear disarmament, and this person who wrote it is a nuclear scientist called Freeman Dyson. He describes a situation where the parents are really unhappy. Okay? The parents are saying the next generation is not listening to us. They are already moving out of the homes. They are not connected to us. They are socially not adapting themselves, and they have a lot of challenges. Okay? And I don't know how these children would be able to live the next world. I mean, how are they going to face the world? Guess which period they were referring to? This book. This was the second generation after the Pilgrims' fathers landed in Massachusetts. They were talking about their next generation, stating that this next generation is completely useless. It's not listening to them. It's not going to the church. It's out of control. And in the book, there is also a reference, because the language was very quaint. The book, there was also a reference to something called the suburbanization, that they are not living the nuclear families. We are talking about 1640. We're talking about 400 years ago, the same situation. I'm sure that our grandkids will talk about their children being, going out of control, and the society is changing and stuff like that. And I'm sure that there is a lot of opportunities. But I really believe that one of the opportunities, there is a certain challenge. I think she talked about deep work. I think there is a big challenge in today's world where deep work is being pressurizing you to do it in a particular way. So it's a big challenge. So I hope in all of this space you'll be able to get people to connect amongst themselves, and in a formal or an informal or a digital way. And the second part is collaborate. I think 20 years ago, if you had asked me, I would have said it's a very competitive world. Meaning the most important thing is competitiveness. I think you have to be very competitive, you have to get your kids to be competitive and all of that stuff. I think I would have said it naturally, and But today I think the world is much more collaborative. I think we do things, it's really, I don't want to use this term team, it's been oft repeated and all of that stuff.
Schooling, it's just not books and all the stuffs in schools. It's just that is something beyond it, where the children, where a parent will also have to focus in order to give a better life for their kids. And correlating this with what Kannan sir has told, see, there is more to life than academics and marks. So yes, Kannan sir, with 30 plus years of experience and with his a lot of knowledge in this field, has come up with school dudes just because to make the children aware and to leverage them into new technologies and to gain life skills. So yes, this school dudes is for teens and tweens of class 6 to 12 of ages 12 to 18 and also for their parents. So this platform is not just only for students. Their parents can also involve in it and see how they can develop and how they can handle their kids in whatever way possible. So what is that they will learn after coming into this platform? The first thing is, as very important, leadership skills. So yeah, so obviously after schooling, after college, when a student gets out into a corporate world, he will develop his leadership skills, after going lot of training and all. But how can we develop this leadership skill in a student when he is in school? That just cannot be happening, through academies. That has to happen outside school, wherein they will have to get into adventure trips, they will have to get into a lot of contests, participate in everything, collaborate with different people, have real-time conversation. Only then they will be able to collaborate and get connected with the society. That's when they will develop their leadership skill. So we are providing a platform where students can actually develop all of these skills mentioned in the slide. Leadership, be it team skills, be it social skills, be it life skills. And what is that they will love after coming into our school? So yes, students will obviously develop their wisdom. They will get engaged with nature. They will get engaged with adventure, and they will have a rustic wilderness experience. And I'm really, I would say I'm really proud that I am a team member of School Roots because you will have a rocking, galata, awesome, musty experience after having logged into School Roots. I'm telling you. So what exactly will you learn in School Roots? And where will you learn? So all of these which I was discussing so far will come under these three elements. First one is called nature escape, where the student will have to, get posed to all the challenges, the nature, adventure. So all the adventure which I was talking about will come in, in this nature escape. So I'm definitely sure that students will have a rustic wilderness experience after having posted in School Roots. And we also have SDLA, where we're having webinars for parents as well as for students. And there is something called Career Wise, where it's a self-assessment which will help the students from class 6 to 12, to identify the interest and basically to discover themselves. So how all of these students can participate. So we are coming up with a lot of events in Bombay and Chennai. So we are having sports events, we are having a lot of experiences like camping, fashion workshop and all that. We're also having webinars for both parents and students. And we are also having creative activities like online contests, which is completely free. And yes, so we are having, the launch happened yesterday in Bombay and now it's happening in Chennai. So it's active both in Bombay and Chennai. So finally with the words of inspiration, I would like to conclude saying, despite early intuitions, young mind can trip on itself. Howard Gardner. Thank you.
This is typically the summer camp that we are planning to have at Cordially and Mangaon. We have two sites now for this nature escape. Our Mangaon site, which is on the Bombay-Goa road, will be ready in about 10 days' time. So it's a 5-day summer camp that the students will be attending. We've timed it along with the summer vacation. The first 2 days of the camp would be, they would be put through a lot of strenuous rock climbing and rope activities. The third day is something where they'll be exposed to yoga, a little bit of yoga and calming down with some nutrition experts coming and talking to them. We have a parent bus section and we have a community connect. So we want to ensure that we involve children in a lot of community related initiatives to give them a sense of ownership to the social responsibilities at a young age. So overall, that's what we offer in this platform. The app that has been released today has been released in English. Our plan is to, in the next 3 to 6 months, release this app in 9 other Indian languages. We want to include all children. We do not want to keep this only for English medium children. So we are bringing out the app in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, Marathi, Gujarati, Orissa, Oriya, Bengali and Hindi. So that's basically what we are planning to do. This year our plan is to take school dudes across all the states. By the end of this financial year, we want to be present in all the states in India. Next year our plan is to take school dudes all over Asia Pacific countries. And the third year, our plan is to take school dudes to the European countries and the US. In terms of finances, we're looking at a revenue of 10 crores in the first year. We're looking at a revenue of 30 crores in the second year and over 50 crores in the third year. We are completely self-funded and the revenue model is something where we'll be generating the income and reinvesting it in all our activities. We have the camps currently at Chennai and Mangaon in Maharashtra. We're looking at another site near Mangalore. So we will be, at the end of this financial year, present in about 5 different locations across the country. The idea basically is to try and see how we get children out, engage with nature, challenge themselves physically. Because one of the biggest problems that we're having today is that there have been so many schools have come up, but I think the place to play, a place to go and see how a plant is grown, how their food is grown. So in the camp, we are having nutritionists coming and talking to them on the benefits of good nutritious eating, the ill effects of the junk food and the fast food culture that is coming up. We take them on a visit to an organic farm and we show them how food is produced. We take them on stargazing and bird watching trips. We take them to tribal schools to interact with tribal children so that they get an understanding and become sensitive to that. We will be having most of the activities where there would be a heterogeneous mix of students. So overall, if you look at it, at the end of year 3, we are looking at school dudes as a global platform where the student community from 12 to 18 years of age across every country in the world is able to interact through this platform, connect through this platform, learn from each other through this platform, and find this the most sought after, coolest platform to hang out after school. Media, we've already started our campaign on Facebook and Instagram. As you are seeing this particular thing, this is going live on Facebook and Instagram now. And parents have been already told, those who visited us yesterday in Bombay, and the targeted group of parents, we've started our campaign about 10-15 days back, and we are finding that our response on Instagram and Facebook is increasing exponentially.
You should have the
The registration and school dudes is free. You can come and register. There will be a lot of free events. but there are a few paid events, like the summer camp will be a paid event. The webinar will be a paid event. The tournaments that we are having, for example, on 14th or on 21st, we are having a webinar which is being anchored by a specialist who's been a parent career counselor from Perth. She's currently operating from Frankfurt, happens to be my classmate. So she'll be sitting in Frankfurt and connecting through the app with about 100 participants, all of whom will be parents. I am doing one for the students, and that's on time management, making the most of your time. So when we talk about life skills, social skills, emotional skills, I think, things like goal setting, things like being clear, being focused, being passionate. So planning well, thinking well, executing well, these are all the softer skills that we are looking at. In fact, I published a book. A book of mine was published, which was written on career planning by Penguin about 15 years back. They gave me back the copyright after 2-3 years. Now we are starting a school roots publication. So we are republishing that book, which will be helpful to all the people who come for this career-wise career guidance program. We've translated that in Tamil, and I think all of you would have been given a copy of that. The title of the book is Vetri Ungal Kaiyil. It's currently being translated in Marathi, and we hope to bring it in about 8-9 languages. And the basic theme of this book is that you have to keep on evaluating yourself right through your life. So career planning and taking charge of your career is a lifelong process. So the world is changing fast. The context and the environment is changing fast. So if you are successful 10 years back, even for corporate executives who are here, you find that, you are 10 years back, what formula for success was there or what competencies for success were there is no longer there now. So this country doesn't have a very structured course on entrepreneurship. So everything is changing. You can become a small, medium-time entrepreneur and run your own shop and make your livelihood. That's what it's now coming down to. So we do hope that the programs in the School Roots platform would help students. For example, on the 14th, we are kicking off a host of events, a School Roots Under-18 Cricket League in Mumbai. We are coming up with a School Roots Under-18 for boys and girls tennis league at the Krishnan Tennis Academy in OMR. We're coming up with a School Roots Chess League. We're coming up with a School Roots Basketball League, a School Roots Football League, a baking competition, a dancing competition, a painting competition, a poster making competition. All of this will be happening in the next 10-15 days to kickstart the summer holidays. Then we have some hobby workshops in summer being taken by specialists. There's going to be some workshops on pottery. There's going to be some workshops on fashion designing. There's going to be some workshops on clay sculpting. We're picking areas which the students consider to be cool, because initially you need to sort of have them come engage themselves. So how is the engagement model? These webinars will be announced 4 weeks in advance. The next 4 weeks they can book. The app will have a book my show kind of a thing. The parent, instead of taking them for a Shah Rukh Khan movie or a Salman Khan movie, can attend something here on School Roots. So every weekend there will be a program for students. Every weekend there will be a contest. Every weekend there will be some on the ground activities. There could be a cycle rally. There could be a
ஆப்ல இருக்குது. இப்போ இங்கிலீஷில் லான்ச் பண்ணியிருக்கிறோம். இன்னொரு 3 மாதத்துலேருந்து 6 மாதம் இதை ஒரு 9 பாஷையில் இங்கிலீஷை தவிர இருக்கும். இது எதனாலன்னா இங்கிலீஷ் மீடியம் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு மட்டும் கிடையாது. இது எல்லா வெர்னாக்குலர் மீடியம் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கும் உண்டு. ஹிந்தியில் கொண்டு வர போகிறோம், மலையாளத்தில் கொண்டு வர போகிறோம், தெலுங்கில் கொண்டு வர போகிறோம், கன்னடத்தில் கொண்டு வர போகிறோம், பெங்காலியில், மராட்டியில், குஜராத்தியில், ஒரியாவில். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு 9 பாஷையில் கொண்டு வர போகிறோம். இந்த நெக்ஸ்ட்டு 12 monthஸில் ஆல் 26 states in இந்தியாவில் ப்ரெசன்ஸ் இருக்கும் எங்களுக்கு. அடுத்த வருஷம் ஃபாரின் கண்ட்ரீஸ்லேயும் ப்ரெசன்ஸ் வைக்கிற மாதிரி வச்சுருக்கிறோம். இது ஒரு குளோபல் பிளாட்ஃபார்மாக மாறணும். இது மூலமாக நம்ம இந்த 12லேருந்து 18 இருக்கிற குழந்தைங்களுக்கும் அவங்களுடைய பெற்றோர்களுக்கும் பல திட்டங்கள் பண்ண போகிறோம். ஆன்லைன் திட்டங்கள் இருக்கும், ஆஃப்லைன் திட்டங்கள் இருக்கும். நிறைய சம்மர் கேம்ப் போட்டிருக்கிறோம். சம்மர் கேம்புக்கு கோத்தகிரி அப்படின்ற இடத்துல ஒரு 5 நாள் சம்மர் கேம்ப் சம்மர் ஹாலிடேஸில் போட்டிருக்கிறோம். பாம்பே பக்கத்தில் மான்காவ்னு ஒரு இடத்துல ஒரு சம்மர் கேம்ப் போட்டிருக்கிறோம். இன்னும் ஒரு 2-3 இடத்துல சம்மர் கேம்ப் பார்த்துட்ருக்கோம், இடம் பார்த்துட்ருக்கோம். அதையும் கூடிய சீக்கிரம் முடிச்சிடுவோம். இந்த சம்மர் கேம்பில் அவங்க பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ணும்போது அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு லீடர்ஷிப் ஸ்கில், அவங்களுடைய லைஃப் ஸ்கில்ஸ், அவங்களுடைய எமோஷ்னல் ஸ்கில்ஸ், அவங்களுடைய சோஷியல் ஸ்கில்ஸ், அவங்களுடைய டீம் ஸ்கில்ஸ் இதெல்லாம் வந்து ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக இம்ப்ரூவ் ஆகும். ஏன்னா மற்ற பசங்களோட இருந்து அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கஷ்டமான சில விஷயங்கள்லாம், இந்த பாறை ஏறுறது, மலை ஏறுறது, கயத்தில் இறங்குறது, இந்த மாதிரி வேரியஸ் ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸ் நீங்கள் இதில் பார்ப்பீங்க வெப்சைட்டில். இதெல்லாம் தான் அந்த சம்மர் கேம்பில் பண்ணுறோம். இதை தவிர அவங்களுக்கு யோகா, அப்புறம் நல்ல ஒரு ஆர்கானிக் ஃபார்மிங் எப்படி செய்கிறது, நல்ல உணவு, ஜங்க் ஃபுட் இல்லாமல் உடல் ஆரோக்கியத்துக்கு என்ன செய்யணும், டெய்லி காலையில் கேம்ப் ஆரம்பிக்கும் முறை ஒரு 1/2 மணி நேரம் 3/4 மணி நேரம் அவங்கள வந்து எக்ஸசைஸ் பண்ண வைப்போம். அதுவே ஒரு பெரிய பிகினிங்காக இருக்கும் அவங்களுக்கு. ஏன்னா இப்போ வந்து அவங்களுக்கு சிட்டி லைஃப்பில் எழுச்சிக்க வேண்டியது, ஓட வேண்டியது, ஸ்கூலுக்கு போக வேண்டியது, ஒரு பேக்கை தூக்கிக்க வேண்டியது, முடித்த உடனே டியூஷன் கிளாஸ் போக வேண்டியது, கோச்சிங் கிளாஸ் போக வேண்டியது, அதுக்கப்புறம் செல்ஃபோனில் உட்காந்துட வேண்டியது.
ஸோ ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் ஃப்ரீ இருக்கா சார்?
ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் ஃப்ரீ.
சென்னையில் எங்கே பிரான்ச் இருக்குது?
எதுங்க?
சென்னையில் எங்கே
பிரான்ச்சுன்னு இல்லைங்க. இது இந்த பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் வந்து எங்கள் ஆஃபீஸ் இங்கே நுங்கம் பக்கத்தில் இருக்குது, ஜாவர் பிளாசாவில்.
இல்லை சார், கேம்ப் நீங்கள் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணுறீங்களா? ஸோ அதுக்கு தான் சார்ஜபிள் இருக்கா?
கேம்புக்கெலாம் சார்ஜ் இருக்குங்க, அதெல்லாம் வெப்சைட்டில் போட்டுருவோம். வெப்சைட்லேயே இருக்குது, வெப்சைட்டில் போய் ஆன்லைன்லேயே புக்கிங் பண்ணுவாங்க.
கேம்ப் எப்போது ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும்?
இந்த கேம்ப் வந்து கோத்தகிரியில் வந்து 22ஆம் தேதியிலோ 23ஆம் தேதியோ ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறோம். அதே மாதிரி பாம்பேலேயும் அதே டயத்தில் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறோம். எவ்ரி திங்கக்கிழமையிலேருந்து வெள்ளிக்கிழமை வரைக்கும் 5 நாள் கேம்ப்.
கேம்ப்ல போட்டி மாதிரி வைக்கிறீங்களா?